Hey guys, this is Jay from the Douchebag Brigade, and I am going to be bringing you the D list. That's right, the D list. The D-bag, the douche, the list. The tier list, number D. Letter D, the D. So, let's begin here with the Megaten Tier List for the D grade. So, these games I don't hate. Let's not think that. However, they are definitely what I find to be the most lacking in a series of incredible games. So, allow me to divulge into the D list. Now, I don't have any hate for these games. I think they're pretty good as standalone games, and especially games that are trying to literally piggyback off the success of Pokemon. Not to say Megaten didn't come first, because it sure did. However, with cute art design for kids, with a collectible concept, with certain demons only being on a certain version of the game, I've got to go over the Demi-Kids games. These games are very good. They're not bad. I'm not saying that they're bad. I know by being in D, they can't be that good, right? They're good. They're good. Megaten games are generally, in my opinion, great. So to say something's good is pretty good. My biggest flaw with this game is the no leveling up for demons is disappointing. Though there are some cool, specific evolutions and level ups and combinations that do add some fun to this game, but you're really lacking in how many characters you can use, how many demons you can use. Overall, the story is really cut and dry, and there's not much to it, which is okay. I get it, but from a game franchise that we've come to expect deep interwoven either story or paths, we are missing that. You know, it's something when Nocturne has a stronger story than a game that we're actually talking about now. So in my opinion, the Demi-Kids series is not bad, but it doesn't belong any higher than this because the gameplay overall is very slow. Gets sluggish, you get bored, and I understand that there are games in Megaten series due to their time of release that also have this problem, and I'm not overlooking that. Looking at you, Megami Tensei. Looking at you, Megami Tensei 2. Looking at you, Shin Megami Tensei 1 and 2. But that's not to say that just because this game gets sluggish and repetitive that it shouldn't be, that it's not a good game. It's just that there's not a lot to it to keep you going. You play it for a little bit, but there's nothing to really progress and see. If there was a little bit more customization, maybe with the demons, you could see this being a better and more inclusive and fun overall experience. But really, it's just lacking in many ways. Now, there's another game that I'd love to play, but I don't know that I've found a version of it yet. And I would love somebody to chime in here in some sort of response, or just leave a comment down describing the game to me. The Devil Rider game, it really looks like they took the concept of what like a Pokemon mystery dungeon game is. I'm guessing. Don't quote me on that, but it looks like it would be a roguelike game, and I think there's a lot of intrigue in that, and I'd love to play that at some point. And that's I think it's called Devil Rider. No, that's not a hentai name. Demi-Kids Devil Rider, Messiah Rider, something like that. Again, not a hentai. So I am curious about that game. It looks cool from what I've seen, but I can't give my opinion on it. So for now, it's not going to be listed in this list. But that's so far the first part of my D list. Now we're going to move on to the Game Boy Color games. I'm gonna have to put the overall. So there was a made for like fan game called Shin Megami Tensei XV. I tried playing it. It's supposed to be in between Shin Megami Tensei 1 and 2. It's makes you feel like you're playing a Final Fantasy game, kind of. It doesn't really have SMT quality to it. Did a great job of sourcing the demons from what I would think is Apocalypse or 4, but I just don't feel like I'm playing a genuine game. So I don't know if we want to consider that a real game, but I'm going to consider it a real game, even though it's a fan game, and put it in here because it disappointed me in a lot of ways, but seemed like an okay game if you're a Megaten fan and you just need something to, hold you over while we're waiting for like SMT5 or another Persona Q2 or whatever. Then I feel like that could literally be in that region. And the last game I'm going to put in here, and it's really, this is an opinion game. I found myself uninterested, and maybe I need to just play it again. And maybe I need to play. I started it, and I have not really played it since literally my first video on the channel, and that was the 3D Devil Summoner game with the one Soul Hackers. I've heard that it has the best story in the Megaten franchise, but I just couldn't get past going backwards in gameplay to the SMT no level up style of gameplay, if I were remembering it correctly. There's just something off about it. I think it had to do more with the loyalty concept. The loyalty concept annoyed me a little bit. It didn't make a lot of sense. And then at the same time, it intrigued me in like the Raidao games. But in here, it just kind of irked me. Almost like it didn't belong here. It was like an added step, but yet I felt that it was perfect in other games. So, I don't know, really an opinion piece. I have not played the other Devil Summoner game that is, I think, not translated yet on the Saturn. I'm pretty sure it was on the Saturn. But this one, I like it. It's updated graphics to SMT. I like it, but I just couldn't find myself fully submerged into this one. And could be fault of my own. I feel like maybe I need to give it another shot. But as of this moment, I got to give it to the D list because there's nothing motivating me to really go back. Like, I get to this first area in the game, and it's like they froze like an area on the docks. Cool concept being on the docks, but I don't know, just something about it just seemed off. It wasn't like you would have thought that you would have only found like, I don't know, ice monster demons and stuff, and not really. I don't know. It's opinion based. I'd have to give it another shot, but yeah, I'm gonna have to put that one in the D list. So basically, when breaking these games down, none of them are bad, and I need to reiterate that. This is really an opinion piece, but I just couldn't find the kind of fun and joy out of these games that I expected to. And then on the Game Boy Color, I gotta basically put in, the Game Gear. It's pretty much the worst of the last Bible games because it's not very Megaten-ish. I like the idea of Israel and these other places in the world and all this other stuff, but I find myself not interested. Like, it felt more like I was playing Wizardry, which it's a fine enough game, but it's not Megaten. It just didn't really feel up to par. I don't have a lot to say on it because I didn't really play it that much, but from what I played, it really wasn't for me, and yeah, that's pretty much where I am with the D list. Those are the games in the D list. I expect this to have a lot of be controversial to some extent. You guys are probably looking to get the a lot of the Last Bible games in here, and honestly, I don't think most of the Last Bible games belong here. I think they're pretty good standalone games. So that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it for now. I know you're supposed to do an E-list, but I mean, when you give grades, you don't give an E. So, not going to do that. In fact, I'll probably change S tier to like A+, an A++, A+++, something like that. Anyway, all right. This is Jay with Douchebag Brigade, and I'm out.